the U.S. government and Trump administration certainly they're concerned about the data, TikTok's data when it comes to U.S. specifics, anybody's user data, and that's really what's going to be the driving point here. If it can be protected, which they assure us that it can, I think J.D. Vance, the vice president, just came out and said that recently. They feel confident under Oracle and some of these other companies that they can keep a close watch over U.S. citizens that are TikTok users, protecting their data, then it'll be successful. The one concern I do have, though, is there was a little bit of leeway in there in that ByteDance still has some leverage in that they can have an e-commerce platform and be able to influence that as well as advertising and content to some degree. So it's not a 100% clear deal.
Okay, so ByteDance would give it about 1/5 of what it has right now. Let's talk a bit more about Oracle and MGX. What do we know about these companies that are scooping up TikTok, and presumably we can expect it to change somewhat?
Yeah, and what they're primarily doing, I mean, Oracle is known now as one of the largest cloud providers, so they're going to be housing the data here on U.S. soil, but they're also going to be performing security audits, and they're going to be looking very closely at the algorithm. One thing we don't want to miss here is the U.S. and many of these tech companies, everybody's very interested in the algorithm that TikTok works with, just like Instagram and Facebook and many other tech companies. That's the secret sauce that makes it so successful, which allows it to actually steer its users. And the fear all along with Chinese government ByteDance was, could it be used as a propaganda tool to actually steer influence for the 136 million TikTok users that there currently are? And that is surely going to grow to much larger. So that's where the concern is. Bring it all under the roof of the U.S. with Oracle and these other partners. That's what's going to keep the controls in place and make people feel safe.
Yeah, and you know, small businesses, large businesses, individuals, they've all made money and thrived off TikTok in the past. And you talked about the 136 million users globally, 70 million here in the United States. Is this deal going to be good for the people that are making money off TikTok?
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a lot of businesses. TikTok is the engine that allows them to grow their small business here, right in the United States. And I think it's going to flourish and pick up a lot more. I mean, compare it to larger companies such as Facebook. Facebook's got about 3 billion users. That's globally, of course. But there's a lot of room to grow.
Wait,
right
3
here
billion with 3 billion users? That's like almost everybody globally.
Everybody, right? That's what they claim. It's hard to believe. Just social media accounts within the U.S., all of the aggregate combined, there's over 200 million people that actively use social media. So if you got that roughly, you said about 70 million users of TikTok, there's plenty of room. They could add users all the time and tremendous amount of growth there. So big things to come, especially if this goes through.
You know, one thing that we haven't seen is a political bias on this site. And look, a lot of users are commenting, they're worried that this new TikTok deal is going to make the app more politically biased. Do you think there's merit to that? Or, I mean, the president could jump in here and say, oh, it's thanks to the MAGA world that we have this, so take this and run with it.
I think there's always going to be some level of bias there. And if you look back at what really Congress mandated some time ago was that there was no tie at all with ownership with ByteDance and the Chinese government. It's not exactly that, where we're talking about now a little less than 20% ownership in it and some level of control with e-commerce and advertising, so on and so forth. So I think they negotiated a happy medium here to keep both political parties, let's say, or governments happy, but there will be some political bias. There always is within all the platforms.
What do you think made Trump so very patient on this, to work through this? Because even before he took office, he said, TikTok's going to be gone, we're going to get rid of it the first week I'm in office. But realizing people are using this, it's making money, it's good for the economy, he seemed to take his time and try and get this done.
Yeah, I think you make a great point there. I think in part, look at the demographics. Who makes up TikTok users? It's obviously spread a lot, but a lot of young people are really addicted to the TikTok platform. they're great at. They make a lot of money in their businesses. That's a lot of his voter support and a lot of the background of the Magna Party. So if you think about that, I think he wants to maybe keep them happy, just my personal opinion. And he also sees it as a big boost for economy and tying in, it's the art of the deal.
Hmm.
He's bringing in Oracle and these other partners and money and tying the US into it to get a little bit of control as well. And it's negotiating with China. It wouldn't surprise me if tariffs and other things get mixed in this whole thing from a negotiation standpoint in the end.